At 62, Social Security gives you a choice that looks simple. Take a smaller check now or wait for a bigger one later. But here is the part most people miss. A bigger check is only better if life gives you enough time, health, and freedom to use it. Waiting can make your monthly benefit larger. It can also make your retirement smaller. So before you assume age 70 is always the smart move, here are 7 reasons filing at 62 may actually be the decision that protects you. Because this is not just a math problem, it is a timing problem. At 62, your benefit might be around $2,238 per month. If you wait until 67, it may rise to about $3,198 per month. If you delay until 70, it could reach roughly $3,966 per month. On paper, the answer seems obvious. Wait longer. Get more. Let the government increase your check. But retirement is not lived on paper. Retirement is lived inside your body, inside your household, inside market crashes, tax bills, medical surprises, and the quiet fear that tomorrow may not look like the spreadsheet promised. So the real question is not, what is the largest check you can get? The real question is, when does that check actually help you the most? Reason number 1, your health does not follow an average. Most Social Security advice is built around life expectancy and break-even points. If you claim early, you receive smaller checks for more years. If you wait, you receive larger checks for fewer years. Somewhere in your early 80s, those lines may cross. That sounds clean. But your life is not a clean line. A lot of people hear that life expectancy is around 79 and assume that number applies to them. But if you have already reached 62, your expected lifespan may be closer to 84. That changes the math. But even that number is still only an average. If you have serious health issues, if your family history points toward shorter lives, if your father died at 73, or your mother never reached 75, then waiting until 70 may not be wisdom. It may be a gamble. Claiming at 62 is not always fear. Sometimes it is realism. You're not making a decision for the average American. You're making a decision for the person looking back at you in the mirror. Reason number 2. The best years of retirement may come first. Money has 2 values. It has a dollar value and it has a life value. A dollar at 63 is not the same as a dollar at 83. At 63, that dollar might help you travel, visit your grandchildren, fix your home, take pressure off your spouse, or simply breathe after decades of work. At 83, that same dollar may arrive when your energy is lower. Your mobility is limited, and your world has become smaller. Retirement often comes in 3 seasons: the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. The go-go years are when you still have movement, curiosity, and stamina. The slow-go years are when you are still living, but with more caution. The no-go years are when comfort matters more than adventure. So if filing at 62 helps you use your retirement while you can actually enjoy it, that is not reckless. That is timing. A bigger check later does not automatically mean a better life later. Reason number 3. Your spouse may be financially waiting on you. Social Security is often discussed as an individual decision. But if you're married, that can be a costly mistake. Your filing decision may affect your spouse. In some cases, your spouse may qualify for a spousal benefit worth up to 50% of your full retirement age benefit. But there is a catch. Your spouse generally cannot receive that spousal benefit until you file. So, while you're waiting until 70 to maximize your own monthly check, your spouse may be sitting there with $0 from a benefit that could have helped your household years earlier. That changes the question. It is no longer, how do I maximize my check? It becomes, how do we optimize our household income? This is where many people get Social Security wrong. They try to win as an individual and accidentally lose as a couple. If your spouse earned less, worked part-time, stayed home to raise children, or has a much smaller benefit, filing at 62 may unlock income that your household needs now. Reason number 4, survivor benefits can turn early filing into bridge income. This is where the decision becomes deeply human. Take Sandra. She is 62. Her husband is 65. He has the higher Social Security benefit, but he also has a serious heart condition. Sandra can file at 62 and receive about $2,100 per month. If she waits until 67, her benefit would rise to around $2,900 per month. That is an $800 per month difference. On paper, waiting looks better, but life does not always wait for the paper plan. Her husband passes away at 69. At that point, Sandra becomes eligible to switch to a higher survivor benefit based on his record. Now look at what happens. If Sandra had waited, she may have collected nothing from her own benefit for those 7 years. Then, after her husband's death, she would switch to the survivor benefit anyway. But if she files at 62, she collects her own $2,100 per month during those 7 years. That adds up to roughly $176,000. Then she transitions to the larger survivor benefit. That is not a loophole. That is planning. In this case, filing early does not ruin the strategy. It creates a bridge. It gives Sandra income during a fragile period of life, before the survivor benefit becomes relevant. Sometimes the smartest Social Security decision is not the one that maximizes one benefit. It is the one that prevents money from being left untouched during years when it could have protected you. Reason number 5. A market crash can make Social Security protective. Imagine you retire and the market drops 40% or 50%. Your portfolio is down. Your confidence is shaken. But your bills do not care. The mortgage, property taxes, groceries, insurance premiums, and medical costs keep coming. If you need income and your portfolio is down, you may be forced to sell investments at the worst possible moment. That is called sequence of returns risk. It is not just the risk that the market falls. It is the risk that the market falls right when you need to withdraw money. Filing for Social Security at 62 can create an income floor. It gives you monthly cash flow that does not depend on the stock market. That income may reduce how much you need to pull from your portfolio. It may give your investments time to recover. It may help you avoid turning a temporary market crash into a permanent retirement wound. In a downturn, Social Security is not just a check. It is defense. Reason number 6. Taxes may make waiting less clean than it looks. Many people ask, how much will I receive? Fewer people ask, how much will I keep? That second question matters. Up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxable, depending on your total income. And your income in retirement does not stay flat forever. There may be a window after you stop working when your taxable income is lower. Maybe you have not started required minimum distributions yet. Maybe your portfolio income is modest. Maybe you are between phases of retirement income. That low income window can matter. If you claim Social Security during a lower tax period, you may keep more of it. But if you wait until later, when other taxable income rises, a larger benefit may also face a larger tax bite. This does not mean filing early is always better for taxes. It means the after-tax result matters more than the headline benefit. A larger gross check can still be less powerful if it arrives in a higher tax chapter of your life. Reason number 7, you need the money. And that is a valid reason. This is the reason people often feel ashamed to admit. You may not have the luxury to wait until 70. Maybe you lost your job earlier than expected. Maybe medical bills hit harder than planned. Maybe you're helping an adult child caring for a spouse, or dealing with inflation that turned a once comfortable budget into a monthly fight. Maybe your savings are not where you hoped they would be. If you need the money, filing at 62 is not failure. It is not proof that you planned badly. It is not a character flaw. It is using a system you paid into for decades. Social Security was not designed only for people with perfect portfolios and perfect health. It was designed to provide income when income matters. And sometimes stability now is worth more than optimization later. So, where does that leave you? It leaves you with a decision that deserves more respect than a simple rule. Like always wait until 70, or always take it at 62. If you're healthy, financially secure, married to someone with a strong benefit, and likely to live well into your 80s or 90s, delaying may still be powerful. In some cases, waiting can act like an 8% annually increase. And that is difficult to ignore. But if your health is uncertain, your spouse is depending on your filing. Survivor benefits may change the picture. The market is down. Your tax window is favorable, or you simply need income now. Then filing at 62 may not be the mistake people think it is. The real mistake is treating Social Security like a formula when your life is not a formula. A bigger check is only better if it arrives when you can use it. So here is the question. Would you rather maximize the number on the statement or maximize the life that number is supposed to support? Comment 62 if you think filing early can be smart, or comment 70 if you believe waiting is still the better move. Because at the end of the day, Social Security is not just about when the money starts. It is about whether it shows up in time.